Untitled Podcast. So today I'm with my main girl always, Angie.
Hi everyone, Angie here.
And we have a special guest, Brandon Katz. Everybody.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. Much appreciated.
So I made a online a little review of Brandon. Let me know if I describe you, if I can describe you well. Okay. All right. Okay. Brandon Katz is a pop culture junkie and a senior entertainment reporter covering film and television. And you can follow him on Twitter at Great Gatsby. It's a joke on the Great Gatsby movie and books, if you guys know. So I'm gonna let Brandon introduce himself a little bit to you guys. Go.
Thank you guys again for having me. Much appreciated. Appreciate the nice intro. You absolutely nailed it, Kirk. Unsurprisingly. As Kirk said, I'm the senior entertainment reporter for the New York Observer. What does that mean? It means I'm a paid, proud couch potato. That's essentially what it is. Cover all things film and television. That includes reviews, interviews with talent. I cover the business like streaming and box office. I cover Oscars. I love superheroes. I love Marvel. I've loved WandaVision. So I'm so excited to bring all that passion and talent to you guys.
Hey, thank you very much.
Brandon, I'm guessing the child in you is so happy that you're doing this job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, my parents are extremely supportive people, but when I was 16, 17, you know, they're like, you can't make a living watching TV.
Yeah,
look at me now. Look at me now.
Okay,
exactly.
When I grow up, I want to be like Brandon. That's what I want to do.
Same, like doing what you love and just being paid for what you work for, which is you enjoy. Oh my God.
This is life.
I'm very lucky. But listen, I'm not the president of Marvel fans. You know, that's the next level. I'm still working my way up.
Talking about this, I have to apologize again for Julian, because Julian recently moved out and we're trying to find a way to bring him in for every show. So it's not going to be in on this show, but when we're going to come back with the live with Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 2 weeks, he'll be there with me. I'll make sure of that. So Ethan is hi and hellos and he's watching.
We miss you, Julian.
So today we're going to talk about the last episode of WandaVision. Okay, so before we go into the details, I want to hear what you guys thought of it.
Yeah, let's take with you your first reaction without spoilers. We will get into spoilers.
My reaction? Oh,
Brandon,
I guess. Let's go, Brandon.
I'll happily take the lead. Listen, I won't lie. I was not in love with this finale. I think from a narrative storytelling standpoint, there were a little bit of clunkers, a little bit of disappointment, a little bit of cheese and hokiness. But from an emotional standpoint, I think the payoff was wonderful. And I think the closure and the scenes and the compelling drama we get between a Wanda and a Vision mask whatever flaws or complaints I have about the episode overall. So wasn't in love with it. Still think it's a damn good season of television and perfectly fine with it overall.
Okay, that's awesome. Very nice review. I like that.
Thank you, sir.
Do you mind if I go next, Angie?
Yeah, go.
All right, so what I thought of it is like I have a like mixed feelings about it because once it's over, so I want to have my dose of WandaVision every week. This kind of like bittersweet. I really love the fact that Marvel with this episode was really like stop making theories, stop trying to go ahead, you know, just enjoy the show. That was cool, kind of like to have every main theory of all the fans online was kind of like it went the other way. It feels like you have to be a mastermind to kind of like go in advance to think what people will think and then go the opposite way. And I think that was awesome. The emotions was on point, like Brendan just said. It was a very emotional episode, and I think that all the actors went on another level in this episode. I love all the reference. I had a lot of reference from The Incredibles and from all the Disney movies that we can talk about, and I thought it was very good. I think for like Brendan said, for a TV show, I didn't expect that from Marvel. I expected like a long movie, and that was good. That WandaVision was the first TV show that we had from Marvel. So overall, I give it like a 9.8 out of 10. I didn't expect that. It went above my expectations, so I give it all the credit. That was good. What did you think, Angie?
I mean, I have a few things to say. So first of all, I loved it. I know there are a lot of like hype and expectations around it, But I guess until now, before in the phase 1 and 2 and 3 of Marvel, we didn't know what we were getting into it. Of course, we knew that there's going to be another movie, another project. But with this one, I think we have been too invested that we always want to get every single answer in a single project. But I think all of the, whether it's the theories, expectations, all of these crazy, who's going to be the Luke Skywalker level cameo, which I think it was great that who we got. I loved it so much, that twist. But I think all of these are they're going to be revealed in the next few projects. There's a lot of threads that needs to be continued, and I love how they finished it. It was Scarlet Witch won this story, and I am so satisfied with how she got her closure within these 9 episodes.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. I mean, what I like about it is that when you watch the Marvel movies, I don't think Vision and Wanda were like my favorites, or I would say in advance people's favorite. You like them because you watch it, and if you love the character before in comic books, you were in for a treat. But with the show, it makes us realize how important, and you really care about those characters, those minor characters. And I feel like Marvel with the MCU was great with doing this, because back in the day, for me at least, because I'm consider myself young again. I don't know about the older viewers, but for me, the main heroes was like the X-Men, Spider-Man, all the big stuff. So nobody was like, oh, I want to buy a Captain America toy before the MCU really came together. And Marvel really took all those second category characters and make them like so big. So basically make the message is heroes, it's just heroes. It's not about whose character it is. I feel like if the MCU wanted to do something about Howard the Duck, it'll be our favorite. It'll be our favorite like in no time. Like people love Loki. Nobody cared about Loki before, and now we love him. So that's what I love about Marvel. They make me care even more about Vision and Wanda with this TV show.
And I want to actually say something about, like you said, like Wanda not being everyone's favorite. For me personally, I always loved Wanda. And for example, whenever people were saying like within the Avengers movies, Age of Ultron is not that nice, I was like, how is people saying this? Like Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron, like I have always loved her, and I'm so glad that she finally got something dedicated to her. It's not like the secondary characters in a movie.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm glad you said, Anji, because I got to be honest, I was never the biggest Scarlet Witch and Vision fan. Like Kirk said, they were secondary characters in a very crowded slew of blockbusters. But that's the great thing about Disney Plus. It gives them a platform to put secondary characters front and center like they belong. And I think after these 9 episodes, Wanda and Vision are the #1 romance in the MCU. Move aside, Peggy and Steve, your old news.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, they're actually up there with Tony and Pepper. Like, I love them together so much. The amount of times they have made us cry.
And you never would have thought that from 2 B characters from the movies that now suddenly get room to spread their wings and take center stage. And now they've probably leapt into tier 1 for a lot of casual Marvel fans.
That's crazy, because now people are I want a Vision toy, I want a Scarlet Witch toy. And that's crazy. That's awesome. So when I see that, I wonder what's gonna happen when the Fantastic Four and the X-Men is gonna be bought. It's gonna be crazy. It's really gonna be
we
crazy.
Got our first family portrait, like a superhero moves. Like it was Oh my god, I love that. That was true.
This reminded me of The Incredibles. That was awesome. But the main thing I take from this TV show, I'm not making no more theories. And I saw the tweet that you posted, Brandon, that had a lot of likes and retweet. I was laughing. You posted a photo of Scarlet Witch, which she said no more mutants, right?
Yeah, in the House of M original comic.
Yeah, and she said no more theories, and I was dead laughing. I was like, yeah, that's true. I'm just gonna enjoy it now.
Yeah, seriously, let's keep the experience. Like, I love the fan experience part of, like, before the movie comes out, after the movies come out, it's part of the experience that we have, the fans, the marketing part of it, the theories. But with this one, I think people were like just taking it to another level. At the end of the day, I think like the most positive fan base that there is right now, it's the Marvel fan base. We don't have that much toxicity within us, and I love that about Marvel.
Awesome.
So let's get into the details and all of the reviews. So Kirk,
hold
let's
on.
start with you.
We need to
The
tell them,
opening scene.
hey, if you haven't watched the episode,
Oh, yeah.
go watch it, okay? Because we're gonna spoil right now. We're gonna be spoiling, okay? All right, Angie, let's go.
I don't know what you have been doing all day if you have not seen it, but
I know.
if you have not, just go right now. Then you can watch it on our YouTube, all of the major podcasting platforms, and you can come back. Don't worry, we have got you covered.
Yes.
So let's start.
Hell, Angie, well done.
She got the
Thank
voice.
you,
She got the
Jeez.
voice.
Just put that in there. Go check our stuff out. You can come back and watch it. Bing bang. I see how it is. Okay.
She's in there. All right, let's go, Angie.
Kirk, so let's start with you.
Okay.
The opening
all right.
scene.
So we go at the beginning. The first thing we see is Wanda's power. She just blasts Agatha out of the way, and I love that because everybody was waiting for the scene, and they thought I thought that I would see that toward the ends. And the first thing I see is like power, like, hey, we're not playing anymore. We're in the episode. Let's go. I love that. That was dope. What did you guys think?
I mean, no one would expect that Agatha would be actually absorbing Wanda's powers throughout the episode that we see. Even though Wanda knew that from the beginning, like within the opening scene, she still didn't resist using her powers to protect people and protect like her family and everyone. Agatha, oh my God. I mean, I love Catherine Hahn. I don't know what she's going to end up in the future, how bad she's going to be, but we're always going to love her. I want to say something about one of the throwbacks, the cards that she threw at Tony in Civil War. It was great what she did to Catherine. So Brandon, let's say like the opening scene and how it started. What was your take on it?
I'm a little bit less positive than you guys. I look at something like Infinity War, where Doctor Strange is using magic and he's throwing the mirror dimension at Thanos. He's turning things into butterflies. He's recreating reality. That's dynamic and compelling. Here, it was just kind of CGI color blasts at each other. And I actually said in my podcast earlier, kind of felt like we were in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with a flashier name. But listen, I still like seeing Wanda go full force Unleashed. And just taking a left turn and a little bit into what's next, I thought the Vision v. Vision fight was spectacular.
Oh, it was.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into this. That was off the chain.
Let's talk about this actually. Oh, did any one of us like the first moment like the White Vision tried to crush Wanda's skull? Oh my God, and like how they changed Paul's voice and his facial expression. It was so different. Like you wouldn't notice so many differences, but you could still feel that it's not the Vision that we know. And the scenes between, have you seen all of the memes all over the internet, like the Barbie scenes and all of it was so funny. At the same time, like every second I was watching this scene, I could hear Paul's voice in my head during the interview saying, oh my God, I have always wanted to work with this actor. I couldn't stop.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Everybody was throwing big names. They were like, oh, Professor X, going to be Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, all this. No, that was him. He was talking about the show.
Brandon, what was some of your guesses? Like, who did you wish to see?
So, I mean, of course, I fell down the rabbit hole. I was like, Doctor Strange definitely showing up. Like, maybe Ian McKellen, Magneto. Yeah. I was all over the place. I did a deep dive onto Paul Bettany's IMDb page because he said he's someone I've never worked with before. So I was like, oh, he's worked with him. Listen, I think Paul Bettany is just a wonderful person, and his cheeky sense of humor and being like, yeah, it's someone, I really admire. And it's like, it was me. I love that. I think that was cool. And like you said, Anji, that Skull Crusher moment was terrifying. That's when you knew, White Vision, no joke.
Exactly. That's what I thought for me, because I expect them to go like, oh, Wanda, and then he tore away. Hey, he was like, I'm gonna break your whole head. I was like, and then she was screaming. I love the acting to it because I could feel it. I was like, oh, he's not playing. He's ready to fight.
And Tylenol ain't gonna fix that.
I love that. That was awesome.
Can we mention something about like this whole WandaVision episode on Disney Plus? Like as Cap said, language. We are not talking about the language that Cap always mentions, like related to R-rated stuff. It was not R-rated, but there was a lot of horrifying scenes during this. Like it was terrifying in terms of how like you would see that from Disney. Like they didn't stay away from making something scary.
Yeah, I feel like they like step over, because I know there's a lot of rumors. I don't know if it's confirmed. I don't want to say something stupid about Doctor Strange being a scary movie. So I was like, they kind of like went over with the just a little bit, just a little foot over with the fighting, with the terror, with the like even the witches, they were like looking like zombies and stuff. I was like, okay, Marvel, we're going into. I mean, it's supposed to be Scarlet Witch, so it's good that they're taking this a step further, especially with Disney Plus getting stars now and putting like R-rated shows and movies. I don't know if they're gonna go over a little bit, with a little message.
And
maybe
let's not forget that Kevin said during the Comic-Con 2 years ago, he was like, it's PG-13, don't worry. Like, he made sure that besides Deadpool, they're not going there.
Yeah.
But I think they're telling their stories without any holding back.
Yeah,
I even liked in the early episodes with the avant-garde style when Vision's boss is choking and she's like, save him. Like, what are you doing? Save him. Yeah. That wasn't necessarily horror, but it was unsettling and weird and scary in a different way, which I really liked.
I mean, even Vision's corpse when Wanda, like, I don't think anyone was expecting to see that. It was surprising. That's why it was like scary.
No, I love all the efforts they did in this show, like all the risks they took instead of doing like something. I feel like they're in the room and say, hey, let's go crazy with this, let's go inventive, let's go overboard. And that's what I like that they always surpass themselves. That's what I like about the MCU.
Let's get to the outside of Hex for a second, and Marvel making sure for us to hate Hayward with every second passing when we see him on screen. And finally, let's say that so the Ant-Man and the Wasp characters are always coming for the rescue. The mice in Endgame and the safety pin for Jimmy. Like, I love Jimmy. I just want to see him.
Oh, Hayward. I hate him, but I love seeing his face. I don't know why he's weird. When I see his face, I was like, I hope something bad's gonna happen to him, and I want to see it. So I like it.
Oh, Kirk, you're hating on like the fan favorite.
Yeah, I know, but I love him. He's like a villain, but he's cool to me. I like him. I don't know. I like him.
You know what? We want to hear so much more hate on Hayward. Like, Brendan, what is like your opinion on him? Oh my God.
Like, this episode obviously cemented the point, but the entire series, not only is he a pompous jerk, obviously, but tactically, he's making the wrong moves, decisions that aren't smart, that's getting himself and others on his team in S.W.O.R.D. in danger. He is the classic example of the white man failing upwards. How does this dude get named the director of S.W.O.R.D.? He's incompetent.
I mean, right? I don't know how, like, there's some, if that's just the story, there's nothing behind it. I think there's a problem because maybe there's a backstory to it. Like, Hayward, you can't be this much. I don't know. I can't even find a word.
Like, call human resources. This dude cannot be in charge. He's terrible.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, he could have not made this plane. That's impossible. Like, what about who? No, it's like he's supposed to be giving the letters at Shield and be like, here's the new mail. That's what he's supposed to be doing instead of being in charge.
I mean, I remember in the 4th episode when we first get to see outside of the Hex, I was like, oh, Hayward, like, he's not bad. Like, he is part of the team. And it was the first episode. I was like, he was like, do you know anything to Darcy? I was like, oh my God, you're being rude to Darcy right now.
No, he would have I don't know. I like seeing him being hurt. That's it.
Yeah, like imagine someone talking crap to like the girl who's friends with Thor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm not dumb enough to do that. I guess Hayward is.
Right. So we get back to Agatha. Okay, so Wanda is getting into the town, or like surrounding all of the town people, and I think Agatha is trying to manipulate Wanda in some sort of ways to get her powers, like to make her give her her powers to her. But like the things that she says about the book and the Sorcerer Supreme, let's talk about this. Like, Kirk or Brandon, some of you, take it from me.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I mean, when she name dropped Sorcerer Supreme, I was like, okay, Doctor Strange is 100% showing up in this episode. Obviously, that did not happen, unfortunately, but clearly it goes to show you how powerful Scarlet Witch is. She says in the Dark Hold, the book has an entire chapter devoted to the prophecy of the Scarlet Witch who will bring about basically the apocalypse. So essentially that keyed me off. Not only is that the carryover plot into Doctor Strange 2 dealing with the fallout of Scarlet Witch, but it very much reminded me of Phoenix Force in X-Men, this unbelievably powerful entity that can do great things, but also maybe can't be controlled and could F some stuff up.
And for me, I didn't expect them to talk about this this early in the episode. I expected them to just talk about Scarlet Witch. That was a big thing, and then everything else talk about the sorcerer half of M will be with Doctor Strange. And I was like, okay, they're telling us, hey, we're going this way. This is what we're gonna talk about. So that was cool to me.
I mean, I couldn't believe that she said like your powers exceed of the Sorcerer Supremes. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite MCU movies. I know some people say like it's just a good movie, but I love Stephen Strange. But the fact that we are getting all of these glimpses and threads into the upcoming project, I can't wait for the Multiverse of Madness. It's gonna be huge.
Hey, this movie is gonna be. Hey, I can't wait to do a video for this. For the trailer, for the everything.
Oh, yeah, need it.
We're gonna go crazy for this one.
I'm also interested because obviously the Agatha episode a couple of weeks ago showed that witches are a naturally occurring phenomenon within the MCU. We know probably Wanda had latent magical abilities that the Mind Stone, awoken.
Yeah.
So I want to know how much more prevalent are witches, which you're clearly born with an innate power, and if there's some other innate power things going on, like I don't know, genetic mutation.
Yeah.
I want to know if that's the lane we're kind of delving into.
I think we got a lead for that in she revisits all of the like her childhood and like the probability hex, something like that, with the Stark Industries missile not blowing up. I mean, I think Wanda's going to be the first mutant within the MCU, the original mutant.
That would be awesome. That's what we want. And I don't know if they're going to be like, oh, she's the first one, and then we're going to start from there, or if they're going to do a different universe where it's already been mutant. I cannot wait to see how they're going to play it out. But,
so with that scene, we the scene jumps into like Agatha's house upstairs, Evan Peters with Monica. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me.
Oh yeah.
If you want to take I want to hear from you first. Then I'm gonna say my comments and opinion.
All right, I'm gonna go. I thought Evan Peters was is one of the best actors on the show.
Oh,
he was awesome. And I thought that was like the coolest villain because I filmed my reaction. I haven't posted yet. I'm gonna post it right after this is over. And I was like, this villain is so cool. He's like, oh, you're going nowhere. He beat you up, and then he playing music. You want to watch TV? And I was like, yo, he's so cool. And then when we have the whole scene, the whole revealing name thing, I was like, Marvel, you're gonna make people mad. Everybody was asleep in America. I was like, oh my God, people are gonna be so mad. But I liked it that it was like I liked it, but I was like, Mama, I was like, please, maybe at the last, even until the last second, they're gonna reveal something. And sometimes it's just no, that's just it. That's all you guys get. That's it. And I was okay with that. I was like, you know what? Let me just enjoy this. What did you guys think of this whole thing?
Brandon, let's take it from you.
Well, Kirk, I am one of those people who was mad. This is my least favorite element of the episode. Now, let me preface that with saying I don't need my fan theories to be right. That doesn't take away my enjoyment. In fact, I'm like, hey, kudos for outfoxing me and getting away. But here's the thing. Wanda and Pietro had a really, really emotional conversation about their shared childhood trauma a few weeks back. And it helped color in Wanda's past. It helped kind of underscore her mental state and how she's reached this point. It also helped hint at things to come. So for them to reveal after all this time that it was a completely different person, to me, undercuts that entire narrative and washes away any thematic potency it might have. Now, again, I don't need my fan theories to be right, but if they were going to go this route and it's just a boner joke, why not cast someone else besides Evan Peters? Why intentionally inflame your fan base to invite this bombardment of speculation if you're going to take a left turn? Because it goes beyond being a red herring. It's genuinely just messing with us to mess with us sake. And that I didn't like. And again, I think it undercuts some of the thematic importance of what we saw earlier in that mid-season stretch. So I was disappointed with that. I did not like the reveal. And the boner joke, I take it or leave it.
Yeah. I understand you.
I'm with you guys. Even though the scene was fun on its own, but I was disappointed. But here's the thing. if actually Marvel wasted Evan Peters for this like series, and he like, I am so disappointed. But I think there's still a little bit of like Easter eggs that they could continue in the future. So I hope that they're going for this. And I don't want to think that they're gonna waste Evan Peters. So like, I am disappointed if this is the case. Like, but I'm hoping that it's not. Like, just I agree with both of you. I don't want to repeat what you guys said. So that was something that I was like, really? No, please, come on. Like, we need more.
Yeah, me too. It was like when the joke came in, I was like, okay. I was like, what? I was like, you're doing everything great. And I was like, okay, maybe at the end, until the very end, even after the last post-credit, I was like, there's going to be something, but nothing. And I was like, this is...
I mean, I've heard a lot of questions with him, like, why is his name Ralph? Why did they choose to name him that? Even if, let's say, he's not the actual, like, Peter from the X-Men, or Pietro, then why is he the Quicksilver that is looking like the X-Men one? And how does Agatha know that? Why is he
him?
First? Like, there's a lot of questions.
I wouldn't be surprised if in Doctor Strange 2, we get a quick scene where Wanda does meet the real Evan Peters Quicksilver. And at first she's like, oh, I know you. You tried to mess with me. He's like, lady, I've never seen you before. And I bet I could see them bringing him back. Because like you said, why bring Evan Peters in for this like subterfuge joke that doesn't really land and disappoints a lot of Marvel fans? It doesn't make a lot of sense to bring in that big of a name for that weird of a fake out.
Yeah, it's too big. I feel like if they wanted the effect of, they have him in here, they could have, I don't know, an actor like a young actor like a Zac Efron or something. Probably be like, oh my God, he's here, but not making any speculation. This was too big. This was like the biggest moment I think on the show. One of the biggest moments on the show, because everybody was talking about it, even people outside of WandaVision. So it feels weird to waste it on just.
Did you guys see the videos from the Marvel accounts on Twitter? Like all of them replying to each other, and one of them was Evan Peters. He was like, "I know you guys all have a lot of questions. I do too." So I was so happy to see him outside of his character. Like, hopefully, we will get back Evan Peters.
I hope.
He's a cool guy in real life too. So good for you, Evan Peters.
I hope you're watching it. Let's continue.
Yeah, we get back to the center of the town, and Agatha, as always, like telling her to use her powers and try to destroy the hex. And we see another like devastating scene. We see Wanda witness not just Vision, but his sons, twins, Billy and Tommy, to getting like ripped apart. Oh my God, that was such a like sad scene.
that was like when I watched the scene, it reminded me of when people were snapped out. I felt like, they were like going snapped a little bit. I was like, oh, her life is hard because all her moments is just sadness and then I was like, oh, they're fake. I was like, no. I finally got my answers because I wasn't sure. I thought like Vision was fake because we knew, and then their love in quotation made like a real thing, like she used her power to create something real. I was like, oh no. And I felt so bad. I was like, she can't keep this X forever, so they're gonna have to go one way or another.
They still might be a little bit more real on Vision than Vision. Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But at that moment, that's what I was. Yeah. I was like, oh snap.
So wait, do you have any guesses? How do you think? Like, actually, I'm not gonna ask this question because it's gonna lead to the post-credit scene. Let's keep it for later.
We'll get there. Yeah, give them something to look forward to.
Okay, so we actually that scene is so heart-wrenching, but at the same time, it gets to a really like lovely scene. We see the family portrait, all of them being the sentence that they're using. We didn't prepare you for this, but you were born for this. It was so cool.
Oh yeah,
so okay, so Vision is going back to fight with the White Vision and Wanda with Agatha. Let's talk about Billy and Tommy for the first time. We are seeing them in action. And there's someone else which interferes to save them. Let's talk about that.
Brandon, you want to go?
Brandon.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of Monica's powers because she is clearly a diverse and eclectic superhero. Her eyes glow a different color, the different powers she's using. Here we see her absorb the bullets and then kind of innocuously put him out her back. And I just want to back up for a second. We've seen Hayward be a pompous jerk this whole time, but there's a difference between being a pompous jerk and holding no hesitation to emptying an entire clip at 2.
Yeah.
Oh my God, take it down a couple notches, dude. Woo.
Exactly. Like you wouldn't expect that even from a bad person, but oh my God, how like.
No, that was like, I was like, oh, Harold, what you doing? Okay, first of all, I was like, okay, all those people, they trained, okay? They're fit, and they couldn't kill the kids. What makes you think you, with your 200 pounds, are going to get out the car? Like, you safe behind the car. And then he didn't try it. He was just like, I'm going to kill you. Bop, 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 bop. I was like, what? He doesn't care. He was ready to kill them. And I love how Monica went into it, and she don't even know fully her powers. She don't know if that would work, but she was willing to do anything to save them, and that was
exactly.
I like that.
I think Wanda was sure that she would survive that, and second, she didn't even know that the twins have powers, and like Billy handled that bullet like a champ. He was so. Like,
yeah, he was cool.
There's both
not today. He went full Neo and was like, nah, son.
I thought I was about to take it and put it on the phone. That was dope. Full Neo.
So I'm looking forward to Monica's powers being explored, in the future for sure.
That one, like talking about Monica, she's one of the mid-credit scenes. We will get to her as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that we're actually. We are speaking about spoilers. Well, after Captain Marvel, every single project we have seen Skrulls getting involved. Like we are seeing a Skrull in like Spider-Man and now WandaVision. I'm so excited for Secret Invasion and Captain Marvel too.
Me too. Yeah. I can wait for Captain Marvel too. I can wait to see Monica again, to see to see Brie Larson again. I can wait also to see Miss Marvel. I can't wait to see all this dynamic. It's gonna be dope. I feel like Captain Marvel 2 is gonna be a surprise, a real surprise.
It is gonna be. Awesome. I mean, one more complaint. I don't know if you guys have any complaints. Let's say complaints. One from me would be, I'm glad that Darcy came for the rescue and she did what Hayward deserved the most, but we didn't get any more Darcy scenes.
Yeah, I would think that. Ultimately, with only one scene in the finale, her character was only there because Marvel wanted to look inward and be like, hey, look, remember that person? And I think occasionally they can be too self-referential for their own good, and it can cost them. Because ultimately, she didn't have an arc. She was just a helpful person that it could have been Darcy, it could have been a completely new character. It didn't matter.
Yeah. It wasn't because she was Darcy that the stuff was great. It was just like, it was good to see her. And then also her being there like at the right time we don't know what she was doing. She just like happened to be there, and then at the end it almost felt like she saw the scene and she wasn't there, like the real actress, and they're like, oh, she just left. We didn't get even, she could have said a sentence like, oh, I'm not staying for the, and that was like, that was quick.
And the thing is, I think the past 3-4 episodes are all happening within the same day.
Yeah.
It's just right after the Halloween episode. So we get to within the library, the Vision and the White Vision fight.
Oh, let's talk about the fight.
I love how they're doing some science conversation. Like I miss the science bro, Bruce and Tony. We are not gonna get that, but at least we got a little bit of it from both of the Visions.
Mia, sorry if you hear noises, it's people commenting on the live. My thing with a Vision, I love that in Age of Ultron, I often watch these scenes, how he talked with Ultron before.
I love that. Love that dialogue between them. It's
Vision been having them dialogues on the show. All the sentences he be saying, like, he be touching right here. And I was wondering, I was literally waiting for them to talk, to see what would come out. It will be just a dumb robot or he would talk. And then when they were just talking, like the whole thesis with the boat, I was like, this is awesome. This was a fight on his own. But the talking was like the real fight. And just go CGI and go like bonkers and crazy fan. I love the whole fight. Going up, going down, going through. I was like, hey, it felt like two Supermen were fighting if I can go into another universe. But this was awesome. I loved it. What did you think of the fight?
I loved the discussion between the two, and I touched on this in my piece for Observer today. Shameless plug.
Yes.
It is Westview Vision who has been living with his family all this time, learning about humanity and identity, developing greater abstract thought, while White Vision was just only recently brought online. So this enables our Westview Vision to reason with his counterpart through intellect and empathy, showcasing his development over the last 9 episodes. And I think throughout the show, it's been really cool to see Westview Vision unlocking citizens' true subconsciousness in order to gain answers and get information. But that was clearly a little bit of foreshadowing because here he does the same for White Vision. He restores all of his memories. He brings his true self to the surface, but it's not to gain information. It's to set him free. And it's unbelievable that at the end of the day, he solves this conflict with sympathy and understanding rather than brute force. And I just think Vision and Paul Bettany is the MVP of WandaVision overall. I love Wanda. I love Elizabeth. They did great, and Scarlet Witch is cool, and I can't wait to see that. But the art, making Vision, this Willy Wonka colored synthezoid into one of my favorite characters is the most impressive thing WandaVision's done for me.
I couldn't agree with you, Brandon. I actually want to touch upon this. Like, if someone from the outside just looks at the scene and like, when we cried during the dialogues between Wanda and Vision, and people were like, your guys are crying because of like what this robot is seeing. But I think what most people don't understand is Vision is actually much more human than most of the human characters. Like, they have pulled Vision so well, how they have crafted it. And I want to mention something else. In the beginning of the episode, Brandon, you mentioned that like the visual effects of like the fight between Agatha and Wanda is not as much like, of course, as Infinity War when we see from Doctor Strange. But we talked about this in our previous episodes with Kirk. I think we noticed some of the, like, I don't think Vision looked as good. Like his costume and how the costume was wrinkly and not looking so much like vibranium from the Age of Ultron and Infinity War that we knew Vision how he looked. But in this episode, I don't think they cut back from the budget at all. Like, both of them looked so good.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to ask you, because in the earlier episode, like we talked about, it looked like a painting and a costume.
Yeah.
This one, it kind of looked like 3D again, kind of like a digital again, and that was awesome. But the thing, I want to get back to what Brandon said about Vision being the MVP, is that except for the part of Pietro, that was a big part where he took. Everybody was only talking about him. I have friends of mine that never watch Marvel movies, never. I have a friend in particular, named Mallory. Shout out to her. And she was in love with WandaVision. She just started watching. She doesn't know anything about Marvel, and her favorite is Vision. Because what I like about Vision is I think most people saw him like being funny with the hat and the stuff. And then you have the episode. He's the one that see the trauma in the people first. He's trying to get them back, and then he's the one that's being trapped. That is trying to. When you go outside, the first thing he says, "Help the people in Westview." His whole arc in the show, it was just like being a redeemer and helping people. And I love that. I love like everybody's like dealing with their own trauma, and he doesn't know who he is, and he's not dealing with his trauma. He's trying to help the people every time. I think something awesome is every time something crazy happens, Vision asks, "How's the children? Where's my children?
Yeah,
how are the kids?" And I was like, "What? You could have asked, where's my wife? Where's me? How am I doing?" And I love that. I love that. Vision went from
the best guy.
Yeah, he went from the second character to the. For me, he's out there. He's out there now with the top 3 characters.
Like Angie said, he's the most human. He's the most self-aware. He's the most sympathetic and understanding. He is a synthezoid made from vibranium and Jarvis and Ultron, and yet his humanity and his heart dwarfs everybody else, and it's unbelievable.
True. Awesome. Do you guys think that we got Vision back? So if our Vision from the Westview unlocks the White Vision's memories, and he said, "I am Vision." Like, what do you think the future of Vision is going to be, the White Vision?
Listen, all I know is from the jump, I was like, there is no way WandaVision ends happily for Vision. It is going to be tragic and everything. So for them to essentially reawakened the real Vision, who we met in Ultron and knew all the way through Infinity War, I think is wonderful. And clearly with him leaving and not being seen the rest of the episode, they want to pick back up at some point in the future. Maybe that's an Armor Wars. Maybe that's Secret Invasion. Maybe that's whatever the next team up is, or even Doctor Strange 2. I don't know. But after this MVP run from a man, Paulie B, I am so happy we get to see him in Marvel continue for the future, because he deserves it.
Hey, I'm so happy we got him back. Even if it's not fully 100% the Vision that we know, because like the Mind Stone is still missing, but still.
For me, I think if Paul Bettany was trying to do an audition to get more roles in Marvel, he did it. He signed it. Oh, he's getting the checks. He's getting on every movie now. He's whoa, whoa, whoa. What I love about
he's right now after Tony, he's the only actor that has been in Marvel since the beginning, since 2008.
Yeah, he's gonna be in for a while. I know it. I know that now even comic books gonna get back with more Wanda, more Vision. He's gonna have everything gonna go crazy, like the pops, the games. Anyway, but what I love about what Brandon said is that I knew also that it wasn't going to end well with Vision, but I also knew that with the popularity that Vision is getting, they're not just gonna kill it. And I think what I like with that is that they gave it 2. They're like, oh, Vision is back. We can continue. But your Vision that you've been watching for the last 9 weeks, we're going to give him a proper ending. And that's why I kind of like that this Vision wasn't in and out while she was saying goodbye to the old Vision. I like that you say, I'm back, you're happy, and you left. So we can focus on the Vision that we learned to know, the new Vision in quotation.
I think it was kind of like a message to the audience too, like both of them talking about the dropping the science facts, the ship of Theseus, like is he the original Vision? No, he's not. But is he partially? Yes, he is. So it is something to us to it's not like bringing back a character like if they ever decide to bring back Tony, but I think they earned it. Right now, Vision, I'm so happy that we have got Vision. It's not in a way that really you brought back in a character that was dead. It's not like that.
And I think that actually all plays into the overall arc and theme of Vision's character dating back to when he was first incepted. It's really about identity and finding who you are and what you are. You remember in Civil War, he's like, I don't know what this is, when he's talking about the Mind Stone, but it's a part of me. And the more I know about it, the more I know about myself. In WandaVision, a couple episodes, he goes, I don't know who I am. I have no memories before Westview. And now, of course, like you said, it's not exactly Vision, but it is a new version of Vision with memories of kind of both experiences. And it comes together to form a new identity that he has to sift through to figure out for himself. So I think it's a really great call that they've managed to take what was originally swirling around the thematic Vision in Civil War and in Ultron and keep pushing it forward.
I agree, definitely. So we see Wanda do the wiggly tricks that Peter called it,
that's cool.
Tony in Age of Ultron. The same thing to Agatha. And do you think that revisiting her memories and all of them realizing it's why do you think that we see the headpiece of Wanda appear when she's on the trial and all of them are trying noting that she's a witch as well?
That's a really good point. I don't know. I'm going to pass that one to Kirk.
Actually, I was hoping for you to get an answer. I thought at first they just wanted to let us know that she accepted the role of Scarlet Witch, but I think it's deeper than that, and I don't have the answer yet. I think somewhere out there that somebody's watching this that's deep in there, they don't even know. But I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just to make it look good, because visually it was awesome to see the mask as the power.
Yeah.
I thought there was about to go with it like this, just power, never have an actual mask. But at the end we saw that
I think that scene from the previous episode paid off, because most of people I saw and read that people were like we didn't need that scene of Agatha and Odin in the 17th, 16th century, but I think it paid off. Was that just there for us to look at Agatha's past? They did use it. Sorry. So we get to let's get to the big fight scene between them, the Agatha and Wanda. So after, did you guys notice anything with like first watching it? Then I don't know if you guys rewatched it, but I did notice something else when I started to rewatch that scene. Let's take it. Which one of you guys do you want to go?
I haven't rewatched it. I've only watched it once, and then I wrote about it. But ultimately, it's so cool that Wanda is clearly not a formally trained witch, and as Agatha herself points out, Agatha has power and knowledge, which clearly, Wanda doesn't. Wanda's kind of like rookie LeBron James. It's all physical talent, but the mental game's still developing. But clearly her powers of perception and observation are very keen because she's able to flip what Agatha taught her back on her.
Exactly.
That's clever. Clearly, Wanda is smart and capable and a fast learner. And I thought that was just a nice little, it's not always who punches harder, it's who's paying attention.
True.
That's true. And what I like is that she's been doing it from the earlier movies. Like when I feel like she think a lot when she did that fake, not that fake, but when she did that explosion at the beginning of Civil War, and then she felt bad about it. You can see that every time she's dealing with something, she's trying to do it carefully. Like you can see I don't know if it's intentional, but you can see the way she acts. Everything is on purpose now. She doesn't just throw her powers. You can see it. She always trying to have a full circle. Like when she fought Thanos and he killed her and a Vision. She came back and she's like, "Remember me?" She always trying to go like a full circle, and she did that with Agatha. Like the first thing she said to her, I feel like imagine her being attached and be like, "You'll see, I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna do that, I'll come back to you, you'll see, I'm gonna get back to you." That's how I see it. How do you see it, Andrew?
I mean, in the first watch when I watched it, I was like when she says, "Take it, I don't want it," like she's throwing all of her like powers to Agatha. I was like, we start like that. Like she's missing the target, like she's throwing power into like what is happening with her? Is she like losing like the focus, everything with like losing the power? After the second time I watched it, I think Agatha is so keen into like getting the power. She's not aware what's happening around here, but like in between every blast that she's giving her powers to Agatha, she's actually casting the runes at the same time. So Agatha is not aware of that, but she is such a fast, like she's a great student. She learns the first thing and uses it on Agatha, as Brandon mentioned. So you see the regret on like Agatha's face. She was like, "Oh my God, she's using." I remembered like Sirius and Harry Potter, like the Half-Blood Prince, like, "Don't use my powers." Spells on me.
You dare use my phone spells against me, Potter? I got you. I'm a nerd. I'm with it.
Hey, gang. Hey, I read all the books, so I'm a nerd too.
Hell yeah.
What I like about also let's just talk about the aesthetics of the scene. I think that was very good because I think like they kind of lacked CGI on the earlier episode, and in this one it felt again like the budget was like movie budget, and I love the fire around it, them being them flying. I think that was very good. I don't know what you guys think aesthetically how it was. I don't know if that's an American word, but yeah, I love the visual for it. What did you guys think of the whole scene, the scenery of that scene?
I think because Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany and Catherine Hahn are so good that this scene was going to work no matter what. I think maybe if they weren't as good as they were, we'd all be like, that was a little hokey, a little kind of corny, cheesy, but it works because they're all great. Catherine Hahn is like 100% committed to being this hammed up witchy villain. So of course I was having a good time.
I think what it was great about it is that like the VFX didn't distract us from the main story that we were watching, the performances. Mm-hmm. Like it was not as bad as the Luke Skywalker, like CGI, deepfake, whatever they were doing. So could it have been better? Of course, Marvel could do it like as much better as they could. But did it distract us? Did we say, "Oh my God, why is this VFX so bad"? No, it didn't make us. Like we were in the moment. We were watching the story unfolding.
Totally. It didn't take me out. You're exactly right.
Exactly. And one of the like jaw-dropping scene, like seeing finally like Wanda become the Scarlet Witch that she is.
Yes.
And her costume. Oh my God.
I love. I was like, finally. I was like, I want her to wear this. I was like, hey, I realized when I saw her costume, we're just at the beginning of the peak of the MCU because they're just starting now giving everybody like the stories, their costume, and Kevin Feige getting a little by little like the Fantastic Four. People talking about it working on the X-Men. We're getting we advancing with Spider-Man. We might get we're getting She-Hulk. We're getting all. And I was like, one day we're gonna be maybe in 5-6 years we're gonna be like all the characters I've made, and now we have a whole universe and let's go with it. And I was like, this is just the beginning. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see it. But the costume was amazing. The costume was good. What did you think of the costume?
I just want to say, listen, I only watched it once. But that costume very much reminded me of the Michael Fassbender Magneto costume with the dark burgundy, like the armor kind of material. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I could be doing exactly what everyone was doing, thinking too much, but that's what it reminded me of, and I thought that was cool.
No, that was awesome.
I agree. I think before getting into the two like post-credit scene and the mid-credit scene, we have the final scene to talk about, which is, before seeing the post-credit scenes, we can't really not be sad because it is so heart-wrenching to see like all of the sentences like you're gonna fix it but not for us, and like with getting the kids into bed, and thank you for choosing me to be your mom. Like, let's take it like your thoughts on the last scenes. It was heartbreaking.
What do you think, Brandon?
I mean, this is what I said up top, where narratively I didn't love everything. Emotionally, I was bawling my eyes out. This is the scene where WandaVision reveals what it truly is after 9 episodes. It's not a mystery box. It's not an MCU multiverse story. It's a love story. A well-earned breather for a well-developed storyline that would have never been given the time of day on the crowded big screen. Yeah. And to see Vision so eloquently articulate his humanity, he's been a voice without a body, he's been a memory, it's so long, my darling. It was really touching and moving, and some of the best emotional character work that I have seen in the MCU, bar none. And I was proud to call myself a Marvel fan in that moment because, frankly, if you ask me, the worst parts of WandaVision as a whole were the MCU elements, the comic book elements, the superhero elements. The best parts were the emotion, the character development, the grief, the trauma, and the love. And so this scene was maybe my favorite in the whole show, and definitely my favorite of this episode.
Wow.
I have said it better. Like, I agree with you.
Yeah, I was like, you said everything.
Like, imagine the comic book part being the worst part. Like, that's how good the other parts are.
Exactly, because like when I'm watching like what I was afraid of, not for the Marvel fans, I was afraid for the people to think that WandaVision wouldn't be good. When I saw the first trailer, I was like, I'm gonna love it. Anything Marvel, I'm already invested. I'm already in it. I'm gonna love it. Then when I saw the black and white, I'm like, for someone that doesn't know about WandaVision, they're gonna watch this and be like, what is this? And then surprisingly enough, and not surprisingly, everything that wasn't comic books related was what the people loved, like the reminder of the show, the writing, the love, the kids, all the Easter eggs from like Malcolm in the Middle, the Dick Van Dyke Show, all the stuff that wasn't comic book related. That's what made the show. And then when you add just the comic books and the fight, it's just like the icings on the cake. So I love that they did that. They focused on they made the MCU brighter for people to watch it. And I feel like they get a lot more fans. Like, I don't know what type of, I feel like each show is going to bring a new type of fans. So when the movie's coming out, it's going to be a whole new crowd. I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to bring people that love like those Miami Vice, Rush Hour type of a show. And they're going to love it. It's going to be buddy fight club type of show. And then She-Hulk's going to be another show. Miss Marvel's going to be another show. And when they're going to go back with movies again, everybody's going to tie in, and it's going to be even a bigger crowd. So I can't wait for that moment. So we'll be able to drop crazy video then for everybody. That's how we go.
It is. It was. Oh, so the credits roll as usual, which I love. I wish every other movie and project had like post-credit scenes. I love that about Marvel. You know that feeling in you, like when you love something so much, they're like, just please one more minute. And like Marvel gives you that satisfaction. It's so nice. So let's get into the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene.
Let's go, Brendan. What do you think?
Which one are we tackling first? The mid-credit scene with Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that to me said Nick Fury was the friend of their mom. That's what I thought. She's going to space. She could have a secret Invasion Wars tie-in, and we already know she's going to be in Captain Marvel too. So I'm excited to see where they go with Monica. I didn't like just before the mid-credit scene that she said to Wanda, like, they'll never know what you sacrificed. I didn't really like that because the show itself was using Monica as a mouthpiece to kind of absolve Wanda of her sins. And while I think Wanda deserves sympathy and understanding, she still needs to be held accountable for what she's done. She did enslave an entire town of 4,000 people. That's pretty bad. So I didn't like that. That's kind of a turn that they took to try to be like, all right, off you go, Wanda, scot-free, no consequences. So I don't like that they use Monica to do that. But I am excited for Monica's future because I think the back half wasn't so great for her character development. She kind of just became a function of the plot. So I'm hoping she gets expanded more and becomes like a really legit important superhero in the MCU.
Yeah, for me, I thought the same. I thought that she was going to jail or being detained, and then we'll get like in Doctor Strange that we need help to save the Earth, and we go get her. I thought something like that was going to happen because like the moral of the story is like, oh, if you have grief, it's okay to do whatever you want. As long as you feel okay, and we have people that miss their family, like the blonde woman, I forgot her name, and she was like, my daughter, if I can just see her, and I know that wasn't her fault, and she felt bad, like everything happened, but I thought that she would, at least since she have nothing else, that she would like surrender herself, and then maybe a mid-credit scene where like somebody help her escape. But the fact that she just like you said, she was like, she didn't try, like she doesn't have no more moral like of her. She's like a cop in quotation. She should be like, you're still coming with us, even though I feel.
Yeah.
She just let her go, and she was like, bye. So that was my thing. But when I saw the credit scene, I thought it was about to be an X-Men related thing. I don't know why. I thought it was about to go there, and you'll see a wheelchair, be like, like we saw that you modified or something like that. And then when I saw the scroll, I was like, oh, I forgot about them. I was like, yes. I was like, yeah, finally. And I don't know who this was. I thought Captain Marvel, and I was like, no, Nick Fury is up there. I was like, I know it's him. I was like, I can wait. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna be in the MCU for real. And I can wait because I feel like she's really gonna be a main thing that's gonna be. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
Do you guys think that Skrull was Talos's daughter?
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think
that's what I
she's
thought.
like Talos' daughter. Like they became friends, like on the stairs, like talking to each other on Captain Marvel. She's the one. She didn't look like her.
For me,
I was thinking.
I thought that was her because she wasn't surprised. Like, who are you or what are you here for? She just like, oh, okay, what's up?
Like, oh, what's up, Susie? Long time no see.
Yeah, well, you don't reply to my messages on Twitter.
Yeah.
So what you mentioned, Brandon, on like what Monica said, like Monica's comment on like they're never gonna know what you sacrificed for that. Like I think Monica did say that, but the fury and anger in like the townspeople, like when they stir at Wanda, I think that's where it's like maybe it's gonna lead into Doctor Strange because she's not held accountable right now, but that's when we are gonna right now get into the post-credit scene. So we see Wanda in whether it's Canada or Switzerland, I don't know which one it is. I think we like when the camera rolls into like her bedroom and we see the same thing as like Stephen Strange did, like her astral form reading the Darkhold. That's when I think people are going to be complaining about Wanda, and like I don't think Wanda needs to be at the sanctum to try to steal the books and read them. She can already do it from wherever she is. And that's when Doctor Strange is going to find her, because she might actually cross some lines, cross some laws that she shouldn't be reading these.
I mean, guys, let's be honest. That look of her astral projection, that didn't look friendly. That was ominous looking. She was into some dark stuff right there.
She was in NSFW on that jump. Because for me, it was like when I saw that scene, it reminded me first of all of the Hulk. I don't know, it reminded me of the ending of the Hulk when he was hiding and he was like in a wooden house, in Brazil, and it made me think like, oh, she's living now in captivity. she went for being like a hero that saved the day with the Avengers coming back and killing Thanos too. Now people know what she did, and she have to hide because she didn't stay in Westview. I mean, she couldn't, but she didn't go in New York in an apartment. She's like hiding, not like Bonds. Bucky was hiding in the city. She's really hiding, like she's being searched. And for me, I don't know if we're getting into this right now, but hearing the voice of the kids, you know, how she's charting how to bring them back, it makes me think like maybe she will try to tap it into another universe to bring them a universe where maybe they're real, or a universe where her stuff worked, Westview worked, and that's probably where Doctor Strange is gonna be like, hey, because a lot of people
think that's the question. Did she really sacrifice her family? This is
maybe
question.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe she has.
I feel like she did something that we didn't see it on screen.
Yeah,
clearly that'd be awesome.
Clearly there's some multiverse shenanigans going on, and that her kids may still be alive. Maybe they're with Mephisto or Nightmare, and those get paid off. You know, they exist somewhere a little bit more real than Westview Vision right now. Here's my one complaint. And again, I don't need fan theories to be right to enjoy it. But all the time before WandaVision came out, we kept hearing, oh, it's going to lead right into Doctor Strange 2. It's going to lead right into Doctor Strange 2. And yes, the fallout from WandaVision and clearly Scarlet, which is emerging potentially evil powers and multiverse shenanigans, will be a focal point in Doctor Strange 2. But to me as a fan, having heard that from Kevin Feige himself, that 10-second, extremely vague, up for interpretation post-credit scene was not enough of a bridge into Doctor Strange 2. It's really just the end of one story and another story's beginning that just so happens to share some commonalities. But to me, it was a little bit disingenuous for them to say, like, it's going to lead right into it. You're just going to hop right in, because I didn't get that sense whatsoever. And I'm an obsessive. So I think a casual Marvel fan is going to be like, how does that connect at all? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the original slate, they were all like less than, let's say, 2 months between Doctor Strange and Wanda. So yeah, at the beginning of the episodes of WandaVision, it was nice to like their first entrance into the television world be WandaVision. But I think in the original one, it was that there wasn't going to be that much space in between Doctor Strange and WandaVision.
Right. That's a good point. That does help. But for now, it's a little difficult for me to make that leap without a little bit more. And I thought Doctor Strange the whole time was showing up, and I was clearly wrong.
Oh yeah, like when people were saying like the cameo is gonna be Doctor Strange, I was like, no, we're expecting Doctor Strange. Like he should be showing up. He's not the cameo person.
For real though, where is he? It's like, this is your territory, my man. Alternate reality, whole town's enslaved. Right? Like, I need one sentence in Doctor Strange 2 to explain where the F he has been. Otherwise, he's a terrible Sorcerer Supreme. Like, my man.
Exactly. This was my thought process, because even in Thor 2, when you have all the world colliding, and I was like, where are the Avengers? This is major. Or when Tony fake died in Iron Man 3, I was like, all the Avengers should be there. Like, hey, somebody's killing Tony Stark. What's happening? And in this stuff also, I'm like, Doctor Strange should be like, because as soon as he's seen Loki being on Earth, he was already there. Like, hey, you're not doing anything. So
he had never met Thor. He had never met her. And the second they come on Earth, he's there. This is in New Jersey. It is a 30-minute drive from the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm serious. It's a 45-minute drive.
Was Doctor Strange actually the Sorcerer Supreme at that time? Because we remember in Endgame when Bruce Banner goes back and like Tilda Swinton, the Ancient One says, like, you're 5 years early.
Regardless, he's still in the dark arts, business. He's got to be helping out.
True.
It's like alternate reality New Jersey.
I'm not saying he's gonna be like, I'm in charge, but he should have been like, yo, what's going on over there? Yeah. And also, he knows Scarlet Witch, so he should at least be there to talk to her, like, hey, it was good. Like,
it's just funny to me. It's like, hey, a whole bunch of reality bending shenanigans are going on. You want to help out? He's like, nah, not my problem. The second Agatha says, like, you're stronger than Sorcerer Supreme, he's gonna be like, yo, who's talking smack? I heard my name. Get my name out your mouth.
I know who's stronger than me here.
Yeah.
But I know that everything's gonna be revealed.
I agree in terms of the post-credit scene that we're fans. We know what it means. We know what's going to happen. But for the normal audience, a viewer, I don't think it was enough. But in terms of before the credits rolling, I think I'm glad that Doctor Strange didn't show up. As a girl, I don't want a man to be a savior of I'm glad that Wanda did her work without any help. But I think we should have had especially right now they're shooting Doctor Strange. They could have done something for him to show up in a post-credit scene.
Yeah, he doesn't need to come fix it, but I just thought he might be like, so Wanda, let's talk, you and I. You're gonna need to give me back the Darkhold or something.
Exactly.
I think that'll be at least if you wanted a woman interacting with women, there's a bunch of sorcerer, someone doing something like this, or maybe a portal opening, that would have been amazing to me. I'll be like, okay, good. Now somebody understand. But like you said, Brandon and Angie, if you're a fan that just watched WandaVision, you have no idea what's happening. What's going on?
Yeah, it was not enough. The post-credit.
I'm playing encyclopedia to all my friends and people who are in my life who don't pay attention to Marvel, and they're like, what does this mean? What's that? What the hell did that mean? And I'm like, all right, just read my articles. I'll explain it all.
True. Yeah, I agree.
That's awesome.
So I think we came to an end. Last thoughts.
Last thought, I thought that WandaVision was a surprise. I didn't know what to expect for the show, and I'm glad that the trailers was very vague. Not like the other trailer, like, oh, I know what's going on. And the Loki trailer, I have more of an expectation, even though I know Marvel switch it up all the time. But I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know how to promote it to my friends. I was just excited. But I didn't know how to bring the excitement, because I was like, hey, if you don't know, you don't know. But I love that this. I couldn't imagine that this show would be like this. So there was some flaw, but it was way more great stuff that come out of the show in there. And I think it's been a minute since people talk about a show again online like that. Since Game of Thrones, I didn't see a show that was like everybody's talking about it when it's coming out. And it's good to see Marvel leading something again. So we're leading movies. We're gonna show you we're leading also TV shows. Because I know Kevin Feige is looking for that Emmy. He won that Emmy. I know.
And they deserve it, not just because comic books finally have to get some awards, but Elizabeth really deserves that.
She acted her ass off, and also the writing was good. I think the inventing, doing we're gonna do a homage to all this other show. I think that was good. I haven't seen that yet, so just for that, it should at least be nominated for stuff. I'm not trying to be biased because I'm the president, but
yeah, we see your agenda, Kirk. Can't I would say my major takeaway after watching all of WandaVision now is that after 23 films over 13 years, the Marvel Cinematic Universe only benefits from risk and ambitious experimental, home run swings. I'm the biggest Marvel fan in the world, but I think even the biggest supporters can admit that sometimes it's very formula driven, maybe a little bit flavorless every now and then. This was unlike anything we have ever seen. And clearly Disney Plus gives them a safe space to experiment with non-four quadrant, material. Because every movie's got to make $1 billion or someone's getting fired. Here, They can be like, all right, let's get a little frisky, let's do something different. Let's get weird. And I think you got to embrace the weirdness and the mystery. And clearly moving forward, Loki looks like it's going to be just a barrel of weird fun. So I'm thrilled.
I know Loki's gonna go. The fans, internet's gonna explode. It's gonna be crazy.
Loki and Moon Knight are my number ones.
I'm afraid.
I'm counting on Marvel Studios to give us the scene in the future, no matter how far it is. But Loki, Scarlet, and Doctor Strange from the comic books, all the three witches together. Oh, I hope we get that.
It's gonna be crazy. And I know Loki, like you said, is gonna go. They're gonna go real with it, but I'm a little scared. But I'm not really scared because I know Marvel is not missing it so far. I'm a little scared with Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I feel like they're going back into the movie type, and I'm afraid that all the new fans that saw WandaVision were like, "Oh, Disney Plus, this is cool. Well, Marvel is cool." They're gonna watch this and be like, "Oh, this is action packed. or this is not emotionally driven." But then when I saw Kevin Feige said we'll see the world through the eyes of African American men, being in the superhero, because I feel like if they're not outside of the world, those people don't have superpower per se. Maybe we have Bucky having the strength and he can fly a little bit. So it'll be maybe nice to see them being a little more grounded with their superhero stuff, like being a one-on-one. I don't know if they're gonna change it instead of making it like the movie. I don't want it to feel like Civil War. I want it to feel like, oh, this is human story. That's the way they can switch it up for me.
I think you're right, though, that there is a risk after going so weird and odd and deliberately crazy. Now we're going back to the traditional, the straightforward, the blockbuster action. And if you ask me, with all due respect, Winter Soldier and Falcon are two characters I have the least interest in out of everyone who's getting a show. But I also probably would have said something similar before WandaVision. Like, I don't really care about them that much. Clearly, when you have good talent, good writing, you can make these characters into someone that's must have, must watch. And actually, again, a shameless plug, as we exclusively reported on my other podcast, Don Cheadle's War Machine will be in the Falcon and Winter Soldier too. So that's just a cool mix of characters. Awesome, and like you said, all non-powered individuals, real human, real down to earth. So even though I'm a little worried, they have the ability to turn it on us. Kind of like Agatha and Wanda turn in those runes and be like, oh, what you thought was a disadvantage is actually our strongest point.
Wow, that's awesome. So, all right, guys, this is the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank again Angie for being the best animator to help us staying in focus. I want you guys to follow her on Twitter, follow her on Instagram. She have dope photos and she's running the Marvel Fans United Twitter. So go into it. And also our main man, my main man, Brandon. I want you guys to follow him, read his articles. We're going to be retweeting his stuff. And thank you so much for tuning in. And we see you guys. We won't have a live next week. But when Falcon and Winter Soldier come back, we'll be ready. And our first guest will be Hannah Flint. And we'll see you guys